So let's talk about the cost of traveling within Thailand. All right. Yesterday, I spent a better part of the day planning our escape. Not escape, it's not an escape. We're up here in Chiang Rai province. We're approximately 40-minute drive from Chiang Rai city. It's actually right out here, but I want to record out here and not in the house. But anyway, I spent the better part of the day yesterday planning we already had booked our Airbnb in Hua Hin. I booked that actually before we even left Manitoba, before we left Canada. And we will be going to Hua Hin April 1st to the 11th. So we're taking Cookie and Nan down there, give them a break. Cookie will be out of school at that time. She's out of school in the middle of March. The school year here is a lot different than it is in North America, obviously. Well, I shouldn't say obviously, because if you're watching this outside of Thailand, you might not know. But yeah, their school year ends in March and doesn't return again until sometime in May. Unlike in Canada, you know, her age for school, she would be done at the end of June and return in September. Okay, having said that, I booked our Airbnb. It's a 2-bedroom in Hua Hin, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, very close to the sea. Probably, now that we've been there 2 times prior, it's this will be our 3rd time. That was just over $500 for those 11 days. Prices in that area, I noticed, have gone up. In fact, I wanted to book the same place we were at last April or March. No, it was March. We were there last time, and it was a beautiful place. And I honestly don't remember the price, but when I looked at it on Airbnb this time, we couldn't get the days that we wanted, but some of the days were there, and I checked out what the price was, and his prices have frankly gone up quite a bit. But when I booked it last time, I actually thought that it was a great deal then. So I guess what he's getting now is more in line with what it really should be. Okay, so oh yeah, Louis, if you're watching this, there's that electric bike that I was telling you about. So this time we got one. Now that we know the area, we got one that's better, closer to I shouldn't say better because we haven't been there yet, but it's closer to we like to be, close to the sea, close to the village market, or they call it Market Village, one or the other. But anyway, it's a shopping mall that we enjoyed. I paid 500 and change for that. Okay. Now, yesterday, we are going to be flying from Chiang Rai city to Bangkok. 4 of us, $169. That's what the flight cost. Then, oddly enough, I noticed another charge that I hadn't noticed until coming here this time, is when you're paying with your credit card, the credit cards are, I don't know if it's the airline, because I don't think it's the credit card company, but the processing fee was $37 or $36 and change. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. How did we go from might as well say $170 to just over $200 when I was going to click to pay? And then I looked at the breakdown, and I was like, well, that's like $36 and change for credit card processing fees. But my SIM card is through TrueMove. They have where you could pay. That's one of the payment options through TrueMove. That I tried to do. I tried to open an account with TrueMove, which was working, but process of putting money from there to there was taking too long. And anybody knows anything about trying to book a flight, I already had everything set up. I just had to pay, click on pay, and then the payment the process that I was choosing. I'm going to be posting the price of everything on here as well as mentioning it throughout the video. But if you had an issue, or if you know about these processing fees, why they're so high, because I know credit cards are only normally charging 2 or 3% to the vendor. So what are these charges all of a sudden I've noticed in the last little while? Comment below if you have any clue as to what that's all about. So basically I'll put the breakdown on the screen, what everything cost from Chiang Rai city to Bangkok flights, plus the believe I said Airbnb in Bangkok. Actually, oddly enough, I found the same place that was on Airbnb, also listed on Agoda, but for cheaper. Same time, same place, everything was identical. For 4 people, so 7 days, $238 Canadian, which works out to, rounded off to 5,400 Thai baht. That is only a 1-bedroom, and but it has a queen bed and bunk beds. So Nan and Cookie can have the bunk beds, and we'll have the queen bed and its own bathroom. And the flight to Bangkok, I ended up going for the one-way because there's a potential we might try to get the train back, and that's something I want to touch on. The bus is booked, okay? So from the bus from Bangkok to Hua Hin for April 1st is booked. And that was actually a lot more expensive than I would have thought, but it was 180, I rounded it up to 180 Canadian, 4,074 Thai baht. Don't forget that's for 4 of us. That's actually a smaller, more like luxury bus to get there, but then it's the big bus that takes you right to the Bangkok airport coming back from Hua Hin. I did that purposely because I'm gonna potentially book us a flight back to Chiang Rai from there. That part, that's the only part that hasn't been booked yet. And the area is quite, I don't know about famous is the right word, but it's apparently lots going on there. So hopefully there's going to be some content pulled out of that. The thing I wanted to touch on was 12 Go. 12, the number 12, and then the word Go. That's the website where I booked the bus. Now this is the frustrating thing about it. It was easy enough to do. The only problem is I wanted to take the train from Bangkok to Hua Hin and back. Spent way too much time on that website, and I don't get what the deal is, but you go through the whole process of picking the day, picking the time, all of that. And you get all the way up to the payment processing portion. It says those tickets are no longer available, or that time slot's no longer available. So you go through it again and again and again, only to pick different times. And same thing. If the train is booked, why not just say that nothing's available for that date? Why can't, you know, in this day and age of technology? But you go through all of these shenanigans only to find out you just wasted all this time. And that's not the first time that happened. In fact, the very last time we were in Hua Hin last March, I tried to book the train again. In fact, I think I touched on that in my video back then, that it was such a pain in the rear that I actually, the Airbnb that we stayed at that time, I walked to the train station and I asked them, I said, can I buy the ticket right here? And the answer was yes, you can, but only, if I remember correctly, it was only up to 24 hours, maybe 48. But I couldn't purchase it that day. I had to come back 24 hours or 48 hours prior to when I wanted to go to book the ticket. Well, guess what? We ended up not doing that. So we ended up just taking the bus back to from Hua Hin back to Bangkok that time, because it's a much simpler process. But Nutch and I did take the train, and that's the frustrating thing, is the very first time we went to Hua Hin, January last year, I didn't have an issue booking the train. And I don't know if it was because there was only us two, and booking for two people might be a lot simpler than booking for four. I don't know if that's what the issue was, but I didn't have an issue. And we took the train. We thought, well, we'd give Cookie and Nan an experience of riding on the train. So just be aware of that. The train from Bangkok to Hua Hin or vice versa, you may have challenges and you may not. If you're booking for yourself or you and your spouse or you and your partner, you might not. But if you're booking for a family, that's the only conclusion I can come to. But booking the bus was not a problem. Booking, be mindful also of the fact that while in Thailand, because I don't remember. I'd have to go back and check my I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to pause this video and go and look at my receipt for Canada to here and see if I paid a really high credit card processing fee, because credit cards typically charge what, 2 or 3% processing fee, but this one, yeah, let me check and I'll get back to you on that. That's an important thing. There it is. That's the flight from Winnipeg to Vancouver on to Bangkok. Now, I don't see anything that actually says processing fee except for advanced passenger processing fee, $6. That's $3 times 2. But the international arrival departures from Thailand, or Thailand's passenger service charge, was $54.40, so that must be it. Credit card processing fee, $37.71. And on February 5th, Nutch and I flew from Bangkok to Chiang Rai on Vietjet, and the processing fee was, credit card processing fee was 945 Thai baht. Total was 5,093 Thai baht. And look at that. That's actually basically 500 more Thai baht for 2 more people. Because I only paid 5,558 Thai baht to go back from Chiang Rai to Bangkok. So I want to convert that 945 Thai baht, see what that comes out to Canadian dollars. So according to today's conversion rate, which it's different every day, but 945 Thai baht equals $41.60. That is credit card processing fee. So this was more expensive flying via Vietjet compared to Thai Airways. I don't know if that makes a difference or what, but why would it be more expensive for 2 people than for 4 people and a different airline? I wonder, I have no idea if that makes the difference or not.